Seventh place Crystal Beast, but first place. Shout out to my man Cody, the Beast. His first time back in a hot minute. But yeah, we got seventh place Crystal Beast. Get into the deck profile.
D-Timer! Respect the rainbow!
Michael Bowden back again. And I am your host, Destiny Hero Mike. And welcome back to D-Time! Yu-Gi-Oh! We're here, baby. It's always D-Time, even if I'm playing Crystal Beast. In more ways than one. And yes, this is technically a undefeated pure Crystal Beast deck profile. Yes, we got 7th place. It was a special tournament. It was the People's Champs. Shout out to the People's Champ. The People Champs tournament, where it was 6 Swiss and top 8. We got 7th. We flopped out in top 8. We misplayed against Sprite using full power. We misplayed it. We drug it out to game 3, full power Sprite with Ronatonin. We did this before the new ban list. So that's the format we played in before the new ban list. So this deck can hold its own. Absolutely. And in Swiss, we went undefeated. We won 3 and tied 3. Now, better than a loss, and we still got top 8. So technically undefeated. I could probably put that in my parentheses. And then, as you guys can see, I used my Exo Sister regional qualifier map when I first topped my first regional. So, and before I get in, because I know a lot of people say that, oh, hurry up, get to the deck list. Before I get to the deck list, I do want to do an explanation of this deck, just really briefly, because now I understand this deck a lot better, and what this deck is supposed to do, and how well, what it's supposed to do. This is a non-XZ, no XYZ, no Link variant. This is the non version of that. And it plays so much better because one thing that I want to note, everybody laughed, okay? Everybody laughed at all the good players that I went against at the shop. Everyone laughed, okay? And they were in disbelief because they were put in awkward positions and things like that. But they were in disbelief because they're like, the whole time they're saying, hey, this deck doesn't do anything. Ha ha ha, this deck doesn't do anything. Like, man, what the hell is going on? Ha ha ha, this deck doesn't do anything, but actually it does. It's something kind of like, it's a hybrid of Fluendaries and Sky Striker. What it does is, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you guys what this deck does. Because I'm going to probably leave a timestamp for you so you can skip into the deck profile. But let me really break this deck down to what this deck really is. Some call it mid-range, some call it control. Yeah, sure. But what the deck does, it picks apart, it actually specializes in picking apart your opponent's choke points. That's what it does. It picks apart the opponent's choke points until it drops Rainbow Dragon. So what it does is you're like, say with the counter trap, the counter Omni Negate, and some of your hand traps and whatnot. Like in this deck, we play Dimension Shifter, but it stuns the opponent, hits the pivotal choke points, but every single turn is recurring pluses because of the new Rainbow Bridge continuous spell card. And by then, when they look up, boom, you're able to drop a Rainbow Dragon, which, by the way, Rainbow Dragon had an errata. I had no idea. He has a quick effect now, which helps the overdrive, the Rainbow Dragon overdrive. This is the overdrive build. So it's pretty disgusting how it's able to do that, how Rainbow Dragon is able to do that, and how it's able to just kind of pick apart your opponent's choke points without ever going into the extra deck. And another thing I want to note also, because this is like a mini review, okay? This is like my mini write-up. So guys, just bear with me for you guys wondering how this deck works, what it does. I have no footage yet. I have some older footage, but I scrapped it because I want to give you guys better play of this deck. That's why I don't have any gameplay footage yet, but it's coming. I'm probably gonna spend about a week more of this deck than jump onto Destiny Heroes. But anyways, another thing about this deck, an important note: Dark Ruler, Nibiru, maybe, and even a Forbidden Droplet. Those cards are not good against this deck.
at least one or two of the cards. Oh, and Super Poly. That's 4 cards that a lot of people main deck that doesn't work against this deck. And Ash is only okay because this deck has multiple search cards that this deck can bait Ash very easily. They can hit the wrong target very easily. Even the new continuous spell, if they try to Ash that's not the best thing because, well, that's a -1 for them because the card still stays on the field for you to, hypothetically, for you to do it the next turn, to search again the next turn. Again, there are many, there's multiple Ash bait for this deck, so that's 5 cards that is largely in main deck that doesn't do very well against this deck. So that's one thing I want to note on, you know, the approach to this deck. You don't have to touch out your deck, and your end board is largely just going to be like 2 Pegasus, right? Going your turn 1. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into the deck list. And please subscribe. Welcome to D-Time Yu-Gi-Oh! This is primarily a Hero/Yu-Gi-Oh! GX channel. And the point of this channel is we play what we want to play and how we want to play it. And this is a $30, for example, this is $30, man. And we can play what we want to play, how we want to play, and do very well. Okay? So that's what we do. Okay? We're here to inspire and play what we want and how we want it. All right? So, starting out with the 3 Crystal Master. So, again, perfect Ash bait, what I'm talking about. You can Crystal Master and then go ahead and drop the Rainbow Bridge continuous spell card. So, yeah, they're going to have to Ash this, and plus it's the normal summon. So, they're going to probably prompt it to Ash her, so, or Ash it. It looks like I heard, but probably isn't. I don't know. But, yeah. Triple Pegasus. This card is insane now because it's just going to lead you into your Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, which that gets you the Rainbow Dragon to hand, the real Rainbow, the Ultimate Crystal God to hand, as well as a free summon. So Pegasus is very dangerous. My previous list, I was playing these both at 2, but now I play it at 3. This card is also really good in hand because it's your strongest pressure for free. 3,000 body that they have to waste resources on, and once they do, he gets to go back to the back row. Once they do waste a resource on getting rid of this guy. So yeah, 3 of each, it's a must. It's yeah, you have to play 3 of each. And now the rest comes, you know, it really hurts. Like, since we're doing the Ultimate Crystal Dragon, you know, the Ultimate Crystal Dragon God, the 1 of each. And one thing I want to note is if you're going to use the Rainbow Dragon's effect to special summon one of them from the deck, I recommend summoning the Tortoise in defense mode because I forgot, I didn't realize, but he negates the summon's effect. So if you go for a Pegasus, Pegasus won't get its effect. So bring out Tortoise. It's the highest stat, highest defense. Put it in defense mode for free. So that's one thing that you might, you know, just one thing to note. The deck is not about going for damage, so just keep that in mind. So yeah, all your 1-ofs, all your vanillas. So there that is. Not, you know, you just have to play with it. With Carbuncle being the best, you want to keep her in the deck. You want to keep Carbuncle in the deck for when you use if you want to use the Crystal Ultimates to special summon it from the deck, and then, you know, the rest is history. So, boom. And I want to talk about Double Rainbow Dragon. Like, oh, it's a double rainbow all the way across the sky. But, no, yeah, Double Rainbow. Double Rainbow Dragon, for those of y'all who know. That was like a viral song back in the day. But no, really. Rainbow Dragon, I did not know this guy was a Rada, to where it's a quick effect that he sends everything. They gave him a quick effect. Now, you cannot activate it the same turn you summon him, which is fine. But you can send all your Crystal Beast monsters on the field and the back row. They'll follow on your opponent's turn to pump him up by however much, so he's going to be super strong. So they have to out him by a card effect. But let's just say it's not game, and then boom, you can ABC Dragon everything into your Over Dragon, your Overdrive. So yeah, I didn't know it had a quick effect. That changes a lot. He has a quick effect that, but by the time you just drop him by himself, honestly, by the time you drop him by himself, it's game, because because a lot of times also you don't even have to do that. A lot of times this guy will beat them down too. Just Pegasus and this guy will beat them down But this is like very, very like end of the game. This is like end of the game, end of the line. This is our Judgment Dragon, and that's the end. This guy signifies the end of the game, that you're gonna win if you drop him, just period, because it's snowball. And we have to play cheap, low key. Yeah, triple dimension shifter. If you go first, I take your turn. If I go first, I stop you from having your turn so I can have my setup. That's why you play it. Now, one thing I do want to note, be careful not to banish your one-ofs, okay? It's going to be really hard to summon your Rainbow Dragon later grind game. Do not banish your one-ofs, okay? Whatever you do, don't make that mistake. I've made it accidentally with a continuous spell card. Make sure you hit like a monster that's on the field and have it go to the back row if you're going to use the continuous spell card effect. But do whatever you can not to get your Garnets banished. All right, so be careful if you're gonna, you're gonna use Dimension Shifter. Yeah, so be careful about that. All right, then we've got the triple Rainbow Bridge, triple Crystal Bond, the best MVP, right? MVP, the triple Bridge of the Heart, and the 3 Awakening of Crystal Ultimates. This card is ridiculous. They're all ridiculous. But yeah, you want 3 of each. There's that. And then in terms of support of that, now back to what we were talking about Ash bait, right? I'm still on Extravagance. They have to Ash this. If they don't Ash this, now I get even more consistency. Again, it was the similar deck list as the previous deck profile, but now I understand this a lot more. So yeah, there's that. And then triple Dark Ruler No More. So yep, there's that, man. Yeah, so if I'm going against either Sprite or Tier or whatever it is I'm going against, I don't have to worry about it. Whatever new version of the sprites that come out post ban list, or even if it's Hero, Stop their DPE, Dark Law, people are still going to be playing the Branded Despia or Branded Despia variants. I don't have to pay a bunch of life points with the Masquerade, or I can shut off the Mirror Jade. So that they don't hit my continuous spell card. So main deck 3, very strong. So, but again, they have to take this out against us, which is so cool. We get to keep it in at all times. So it's just so good. And then for the traps, just 2 Crystal Miracle, because a lot of our end board just ends on 2 Crystal Miracle set. And while they're under a D shifter, or if we have a Dark Ruin or more in their hand, it's just kind of, it's unbeatable. 2 Omni Negates. Under a D shifter, you're not winning. I don't care. You're not gonna out that. So there's that, and then onto the extra deck is the Star, boom, Rainbow Dragon Overdrive. Yes, I did summon this guy, and if you summon this guy, you win. That's all I want to say. This guy's enough to end it as well too, just with his attack power alone, his attack boost, or you just you just shuffle everything back to the deck and blow them out that way after the fact. But usually you're not gonna use his shuffle back effect. You're going to be saving them for this guy. So, yeah, it's pretty gross. They're both pretty strong, but you're only playing 3 of each just for the part of Extravagance. You don't want to banish everything. And by the way, a lot of y'all were getting on me in the last deck list. I had to do this follow-up. I'm playing a Link Karibo, okay? I was playing Link Karibo in the last list accidentally. Clearly, I don't play this stuff. I'm still new, branching out into different decks other than Hero. But yes, I've corrected that wrong. I've righted that wrong. Yes. Link Karibo is in the deck. So calm that down. I would have put a mistake. yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay, yeah. You had your laugh. You're done laughing, okay? Oh, you're laughing now? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, there's the Link Karibo. And the rest is just fluff. It's just Neo's fluff. Or Hero fluff. Again, it's just part of Extravagance targets to keep our Rainbow Dragon Ultimate God, Crystal Gods from being banished from the extra deck altogether. And then we go into the side deck, triple DD Crow, triple Ash, because that's for just general and tier and stuff like that. And any kind of new variant of the sprite, I think this could be pretty good. Maybe you can do something against Tri Brigade or whatever. And then the triple Ash, because people are still going to be playing Branded Fusion. And again, we want to go for that choke point. So that's just for Branded Fusion solely. If I know you're on a Branded Fusion build, just Ash. And then triple Nibiru. So if you're going against something like a Virtual World, a Hero, some kind of combo rogue strategy, tier elements, we're not maining Nib this time. We're siding it, which is a better choice. It works out much better. Then we've got our triple Twister, because again, we want to counter their back row hate. And then the Evenly Matched. for their back row hate as well. But one note that I want to make, one note I would like to make is the Rainbow City, Ancient City Rainbow Ruins. Something to tech, something to try out. I was thinking about this card over the Extravagance perhaps, because it can help with control and it will help with the late grind game. You're not going to really get his draw effect very often because his deck turbos out through your Crystal Beast very often, so you're not going to have a whole bunch in the back row all the time with at least this build, because I've tested it with this. But you can protect your back row and you can negate spells and traps. So this card is good for negating spell and trap hate. It's good for negating the Lightning Storm, and it's also good for hitting Twister or the Cyclone. Cyclone hurts us really bad, so this can help us with that. And bonus, it could get us a draw in the later grind game. We're only going to probably need it once because, again, this card used to be... This card basically was our Rainbow Bridge of the Heart, but Rainbow Bridge of the Heart completely power crept Ancient City Rainbow Ruins. And then the idea was that, oh, well, why not use them together? Then that's double the... But it doesn't work that way because Rainbow Bridge of the Heart is going to be popping off a lot of your back row as well. Then also another problem with Ancient City Rainbow Ruins is that if you already have 4 Crystal Beasts in the back row, you cannot activate Crystal Bond. So that's another thing just to try to get your draw 2. I mean, just try to get your draw 1. I don't think it's worth it. Crystal Bond is a much better card than trying to get a random draw 1 from Crystal Ruins, in my opinion. So you can use... So this card could be really good for the grind game, and also the Ridge of the Heart can help set up the Rainbow Ruins. It can get you up to 3 back row, so you can negate their spell trap hate. So as well, in combination with your counter trap. So that is something to keep in mind. I might test it, I'm not sure yet. And also, like, you could just straight up play 3 of these guys instead of trying to do the Rainbow Salvation combo, because if you draw a Rainbow Salvation, the trap card, the new trap card, that's a brick, man. Like, it's gonna take a while for you to drop that Rainbow Dragon, let alone 2. And then, so you have to send it to the graveyard with the Awakening. And I thought about it, you know, you could send the new trap to the graveyard with the Awakening, but I'd rather either search a Crystal Spell or Trap or summon one of the Crystal Beasts from the deck. I'm not gonna send it to the grave. I'm not gonna send something to the graveyard. I'm just not gonna do it. I'd much rather just use it as intended. I don't want to just to try to get an Ancient City Rainbow Ruins to the graveyard. But I just want to say, just a note, this could help against like built-in wise. This could help against anti-spell trap hate. So that's the deck, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment. Let me know what y'all combos are in the comments. And I hope this explanation was also insightful for you guys, not just fluff. I love you guys, and stay tuned.